No time, baby. He's Forgiato. Niggas turned foul when I took a charge. I was in the trap, selling old balls. I'm Master P, the last done. Mr. Blue Money, the 99. She say my name while I'm in her stomach. I don't think it's me. I'm just getting money. I'm just getting money. Getting money. I don't really think it's me. I'm just getting money. Getting money. Getting money. I don't really think it's me. I'm just getting money.
Warning. This program is intended for mature audiences. It contains true situations used for learning purposes. The opinions expressed do not reflect the views of Live and On Point Network and is protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union. Viewer discernment is advised. Read a goddamn book and form your own opinion. Good day.
What's up, y'all? It's me, Wendy, and you're watching Grown as Fuck. And tonight, I have a very special, unexpected, because I know y'all weren't expecting. I know I said I wasn't doing the whole guest thing, but for the topic I chose, I decided to bring in my own daughter, my firstborn. Tell them your name.
Hey y'all, it's Winter.
She a little nervous. She goofy. But it's my oldest daughter, Winter. Tell them about yourself.
Um,
How old are you?
okay, I'm 13. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Y'all, most of y'all already know me anyway, so yeah.
You gotta talk up. Anyway, so yeah, tonight we're gonna get into parenting. It's not really no specific um direction we're going, but it's a few things that was on my mind that I wanted to go over, just things that I be seeing or whatever. And Winter's gonna chime in. She gonna keep it 100 with y'all. How I am as a parent, how she personally feel about it, um, because we got that type of relationship. So just to give y'all a little background before we get started on my parenting, um, a lot of y'all know I wasn't born here. My mama was. My mama born and raised in Jacksonville. I moved here when I was 7. My mom and my daddy was still married. When my mama decided to move back, though, they did separate. And at the time, my brother was like 1. And that separation, I don't think it took a toll on me, like, how people make it seem. But I will say I do remember trying to play them against each other. Like, when my dad didn't live here, I used to call him as like my mama out clubbing, and then when he moved here, um, when I finally found out he was talking to somebody, like I used to tell my mama like he got this going on and she don't like me or whatever the case may be, blase squaze. Well, it was true. It was true. um, I feel like from my mom, I lacked that emotional love. It seemed like she had it before we moved here. And then when we moved here, she became, I guess, her real self. And so she was very nonchalant. She wasn't like, give me a hug, give me a kiss type shit. So I know I acquired that. So would you say that I'm like that?
No,
No. How would you say I am? Because I think you're saying the same thing.
you not like you're not nonchalant. You gonna say how you feel, but you not to give me a hug, give me
Exactly.
a kiss,
So
like that.
that's what I'm saying. I acquired that from my mama.
Yeah.
I don't give me a hug. Like my youngest daughter, she'll be like, "How was your day? Give me a hug." And it's sad, but I be disgusted because I'm just not that touchy person or whatever. And I'm gonna get into the dad thing later.
But don't you supposed to grow into like being touchy feely with your children by now? Shit.
No, I
No.
think it should start like that. So with my first child, her, initially I was, oh, this is my baby, da 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 da. But then I had more kids quickly, and I'm not the type of person that can keep doing the same thing twice. So the first one might have got hugs and kissed, and still to this day, she more. I feel like she get more.
So you think the only reason for that is because your mom didn't give that to you?
Yeah. As an adult, I have came to terms that I think that's what it is. Because, like I said, before we moved here, I remember her calling me these nicknames and hugging me and kissing me and all that stuff. And then we moved here, all that shit ended. It was like she called me a heifer one time. That shit stick out in my mind. Like, damn, who is this lady? Like, why she talking to me like
Was
that?
she mad because your dad was gone?
I don't think so. You know what? I really don't know.
Well, you said she left your dad and started acting like that.
No,
A lot of times, women stop loving the kids, showing the kids love when they stop showing the dad love because the dad remind the mother of the dad. The kids remind the mother of the dad.
I'm not going to go that far because the only reason why I say that is when we were in St. Louis, she literally had no family there. So maybe that love was projected on me because I was technically like her only family. And then when we moved back here, I feel like, oh, excuse me. Thank you. I feel like she was more of herself. She was more in her comfort zone of who she really is. She had her mom, her sisters, her brother. Um, I don't know. She was going to clubs and stuff more. Um, I think she was just getting back to herself because sometimes when you get in these relationships, not saying this is what it is, this is what I feel like, because for me it happened that way. Sometimes you get in these relationships and you lose yourself. You feel like being a mother and a wife, you can't be who you are. You have to just be those titles. And so I think once she left my dad, she moved here and she was getting back to herself and going back partying and doing stuff like that. Her mindset was back as this is who I am. I don't got time for all that lovey dovey stuff. Hey, put your clothes on. Let's go to school. Keep it moving. I think that's what it was. I don't think she stopped loving me. I think she just.
Well, I mean, I guess because with you, with us, she don't act like that. With us, like she kind of just that started, but like when we go into like the meetings and stuff, she'll be like, she ain't never used to say bye baby to us. Like she'll be like bye baby, and she'll be like bye babies, and I'll be like, oh
She always said that.
no, she used to never say that. At least I don't remember. She kind of just started. Like, and then when we say, hey, she'll be like, hey, baby. I'll be like, oh.
You feel weird.
Yeah, because I ain't used to that. I ain't used to none of that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, we'll get into my what I feel like I lack from my dad later. I don't want to go there right now. But so how do you think I am as a parent currently? And then we'll go back to maybe what you thought maybe 2 years ago.
Okay, so currently,
Can you hear her? She got to talk louder.
okay, so currently, you not that bad, but it's kind of like, sometimes I feel like it be a little bit much, but the other times it's like, okay, I gotta realize this is still my mama. Like, I can't really expect you just to say, oh yeah, you can go to this, yeah, you can do that, yeah, you can get this, yeah, you can get that, because in the day, like, you still my parent, whatever. So I mean, your parenting style, it's not bad. Like, I know how you told me most people say you be like abusing us.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if disciplining us is abusing, then I guess that's what you're doing. Cause I mean, I don't feel like I get abused.
Do you think 2 years ago or maybe even a year ago you would feel the same? Because I remember we had a conversation like a month ago and you were like telling me how you thought I was or what you perceived me as. And he was like, but now I understand. Like, I get it now.
Oh, a year or 2 years ago. I think a year or 2 years ago, that was I probably thought you was, I think you was mean. Like a year, 2 years ago, you was mean. Like you was I thought you was very mean. But I knew the reason, but I didn't. Like it was kind of like every day yelling, screaming. Like it was kind of like we didn't even do nothing. Like sometimes we would kind of trigger it, but then it was the other times like, what you yelling for? Like I just didn't understand. But when we was on the phone that time, I was like, oh, I mean that I guess that makes sense. But it's still times to this day where I be like, what are you yelling for? I ain't even do nothing.
Right.
What do you be yelling for?
What do I yell for?
She be like, hold on. She'll walk in the door. She'll be like, why my house not clean?
That's a legitimate reason to yell, right?
Why my house not clean? Piggy, you got in the bath. Autumn, you did your homework.
These are legitimate reasons to yell, right?
No.
Am I right?
No.
What you mean no?
Why the house ain't? Why you ain't clean the house?
I pay the bills. I'm not there to mess up the house.
Okay.
But like,
so,
but like, you know, you gotta think. I mean, yeah, we stay there, but it is like your house too. And then your room be dirty 24/7.
Ooh, the truth is coming out.
Okay,
you like Winter. You wanna clean my closet? I'd be like, you finna pay me?
Ah!
Listen, when you are a business owner, because do I or do not I not have a maid?
You do.
But I haven't had my maid in a long time. But when you're a business owner, I'm legit never home. I'm never home. So I don't have time. I really have to like grab and go. So yeah, my room is junky, but that's my room. That's my piece. That's how I operate. The rest of my house, there's no excuse. So if y'all home all day, the reason why I yell, because you know some people are like, well, you don't have to yell at them kids, that's gonna traumatize them. The reason I yell, yes, I have a short temper, but I feel like I shouldn't have to keep repeating myself. This is something that I have said for years. You're 13 years old. I know I've been saying this at least the last 9 years of your life. Every single day that I have to repeat myself or something that y'all know I'm gonna yell about, it's gonna make me yell even worse. Cause it's like, why do I gotta keep saying this? Why when I come home from a day of working, I want to come home to peace. I want to come home to a clean house. Nope. Book bag in the floor, shoes on the ground. Nobody took a bath. Nobody ate. Everybody waiting on me. And it's like, God damn, every day. I just yelled at y'all yesterday. Y'all like get the picture today? So for me, that's why I yell. That's just not saying it's right or wrong, but that's just how I deal with my frustration of repeating myself.
I mean,
Jay
yeah.
Lear say, so you gonna yell at them because the house ain't clean, but your room ain't clean? This
Yeah.
not fair. You'll snap on her for a dirty room. You say you'll snap if her room dirty?
Yeah. No.
No, you got lenient with me. It be them. You be
Yeah, I don't
because
really.
I do mine on my own.
Yeah, I don't really. Okay, so the thing with the rooms, yeah, I will snap on them about the house. The thing about the rooms, I'm a little more lenient with her because I can honestly say within the last year, I haven't had to tell her so much to do things. She kind of do it on her own.
She getting older.
Yeah. But the other two, they keep their room dirty 365 days.
Well,
like,
her name is Piggy, so I don't expect her not to have a pigsty.
It's definitely a pigsty. And I'm talking about if they clean up tonight in the morning, it be back filthy.
But just leave it a mess.
I can't work like I can't live like that mentally. If the door open and I see that, it would drive me up the wall.
You remember the old apartment? How our room used to look?
Mm-hmm.
That we couldn't even sleep in there, man.
Like it was bad. Like, and I'm like, y'all little boys. Like I get so mad. I'm like, y'all act like little boys. Like I just don't get it. I don't understand. So you know, I know yelling is probably not. Yelling and cursing is probably not what I should do, but that's how I deal with my frustrations. So, let me see. My views as a parent myself, I feel like, you know, I don't think there's a right and wrong way in parenting, but for me, I think that I do parenting a realistic way. Like I keep it real with my kids. I don't sugarcoat anything. When it comes to their dad, I try not to speak on him, negative or positive. I just have no words with that. How do you want to talk about that a little bit?
My dad?
Well, not necessarily about him. I mean, that's up to you. But as far as like how I handle him not being in the picture and talking to y'all about him and stuff like that.
Oh, so that kind of started back like when he first got locked up, like 2018. That's kind of like when I remember our stepdad coming in the picture. Well, I know he was there before that, but that's kind of when he like kind of like really stepped in. So I never really had to like worry about like having like, oh, not having somebody to like call dad, stuff like that. But I mean, you ain't never talk about him. If anything, you'll be like, have y'all talked to him? It wasn't never like, oh, y'all don't. What I'm trying to say, y'all basically, if anything, you just want to make sure did we talk to him. Like you wasn't trying to be no burden. Like you ain't want him to feel like, oh, my kids don't talk to me because of you. Like
Right.
you wanted to be like, if they don't want to talk to you, then that's how they feel. It was never like no, oh, it's because of you my kids don't talk to me. Da da da. Cause at the end of the day, it was his fault. But
And I asked that because, one of the things that we have to deal with in our household is their mom gets blamed for everything. So, do it bother you that I am blamed for why you now I have 3 kids, y'all, but she's the oldest. So they all 3 handle him in the situation different. Does it bother you that I'm always blamed for the decisions you make when it comes to you and your dad?
yes, it do bother me because that's not the case. I don't like feeling like I'm being manipulated or feeling like I'm being like somebody trying to play me, make me seem like I'm crazy. I don't like feeling like that. So when something just keeps going on and on, that aggravates me because that's not the case at all. You not here to know what's going on. Whole time she want me to talk to you, but I don't want to talk to you because of what you did. And
Why you don't want to talk to him?
You could tell him.
okay,
We gonna keep it real on my show. If you want to tell him, you can.
so I gotta start way back.
Whatever you want to tell him.
Oh, all right. I thought it was one specific reason. I didn't know it was like a
No,
strangle
it's a
reason.
whole timeline.
Oh darn. Well, just the main reason, or what's the last thing was like, yo, I can't do it.
Okay, the main reason why I feel like I can't talk to him is because he put how can I say this? I'm trying to think how I can put this. He put I don't know. He think. Okay, so the reason why I don't mess with him is because he put his own self before his kids. Like how he feel about stuff before me. Like me and him was arguing one time and it was before we wasn't even arguing, but he had told me that he was gonna move to go somewhere because he decided he tried to hide it, but I figured it out anyway. He decided he was gonna become him and his first baby mama. He decided he was going once he got locked up. He got with her, whatever. So he told me that he was gonna move to one of the Carolinas. I don't really remember either North or South. I don't remember, but he told me that he was gonna move to one of them. And one time he was on the phone with Piggy, and he told Piggy, "I ain't say that. Winter a liar. All she ever do is lie." So after that, I'm like, "Whoa, what you saying all that for?" So it was kind of after that. Ever since then, me and him we been arguing. It was just steady arguing about something. When to you this? When to you always trying to start drama? When to you always saying something? When to you do this? When to you do that? So it's like if you gonna just keep lying and put on the front for the kids, thinking, "Oh, I'm just crazy and I'm just lying to them," then we don't need to talk. You don't even gotta claim me no more. You can talk to the other rat.
Oh, other rat.
Yes, that's a
Oh
rat.
my
Who
god.
y'all talking about as a rat?
Them the ops.
Who is the ops? What the?
Oh my god. Do you think as a parent I'm wrong for allowing her to feel that way and not getting in the middle of that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
You always supposed to push forgiveness no matter what happens to these young kids, because once they start walking around with that unforgiving spirit, that's that starts from the parents. Obviously,
Right.
that's where the unforgiveness comes. So you always want to teach them to forgive and not hate, even if people do things that you don't understand or they don't understand. You still gotta forgive. You can't. I
Okay.
like what Logic say. You say you can't. He say, and I got a nigga tongue tonight. Sorry. He say you can't force her to forgive though. But I ain't say for it. I say you
Okay,
should
but
always push forgiveness.
But listen, what y'all don't know is I forgave so many times. Like she know I forgave so many times. That
But
man,
that's good.
no, that wasn't good because I wanted to prove my mama. She never talked bad about him, but I used to hear things like I would be eavesdropping, hearing a conversation with her friends, like with her room door locked, closed, whatever. And I used to hear, so I'd be like, "Nah, my daddy not like that. When I'm with him, he buy me stuff." Da da da. But that man, he used to get drunk and disappear for months and then come apologizing to me, and I just forgive him thinking he ain't do nothing wrong. I used to want to prove to everybody that he ain't no bad person, this, and that, and the third. But when it kept happening, getting locked up back to back because you want to sell drugs or disappear, like that junk was so aggravating. Like I got tired of it.
Mm.
I
But
kept forgiving. And I mean, Piggy, she kind of starting to realize, but she didn't see what I seen at like a very, very young age.
yeah, the only reason why I always say you supposed to forgive though, and you're gonna have to keep forgiving when you living a long life. You're gonna have to forgive on the daily, because they're gonna be people that offend you all the time. So it just mainly basically to get comfortable in the spirit of forgiveness.
And I push for them to, I guess, have a relationship with them, but I don't bother her anymore for my own personal reasons. I feel like I have seen her give him chances, and even when in my mind I felt a certain kind of way about things, I allow her to be a child and do whatever. But I think it's to the point, and you're at a teenage year. Teenagers, some are very rebellious, they think they grown, whatever the case may be. It's to the point now where I can't fault her for being upset for somebody literally calling you a liar and saying it to your sibling that you live with, calling you a liar, telling them that you starting stuff. Like, that's a bit much for me, especially when you already don't have that solid foundation of a relationship with them anymore. And that's something you want, but you can't expect to get that when
You
you're pushing them
disrespecting me
away. You
behind
know
the
what I mean?
scenes.
So, I mean,
Yeah, but that's such a tricky situation
it
because
is.
that's a daughter and a father.
It is.
And I'm not the person to be like, yo, that's your parent. It don't matter what they do, that's your parent. I'm not for that either. But I do feel like if she forgive him and don't hate him, and still, I feel like you should still treat him like a nice, sweet daughter, because that's only gonna bless you in the long run. Forgiveness is really not about how people treat you, it's about
Mhm.
how you treat people. So if you treat him like he the best dad in the world, even if he don't deserve that, you will still get blessed for that. You know what I mean? Nothing goes unnoticed.
I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't be the one, being honest, I wouldn't be the one to say that, because as we know, I hold grudges.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Well, that's
that
what you get that spirit
hold on.
from.
But that's one of the reasons why I do not speak to them about my own personal feelings or anything, because I don't want to sway them to feel any kind of way. I let things be what it is. Every now and then, still to this day, what do I say? Y'all talk to y'all daddy? Anybody? I don't even bother her because I know her response, and I know what her response is if I try to make her call him. But I do ask my other kids, have y'all talked to y'all dad? For my own conscience, that's why I do that. But I'm not gonna, when they get to a certain age, and I'm not gonna force anything. My mama didn't force me. She didn't talk about my daddy. It was just, it was what it was. Either you talked to him or you didn't. But by court order, I had to go to my dad's house every Thursday, every other weekend. That was mandated. If it was up to my mom, like by court rules, she probably would say whenever Wendy want to go. I have sole custody of my kids. That's all I wanted. I didn't, when I filed for divorce, I didn't want nothing but my last name and sole custody. So when he get out, am I gonna force them to go over there? No, I'm not.
Well, I wouldn't force them to go over there either, because just because they're young girls and we don't know what his mind is.
And it's
But
like she said, it's a lot of things that have happened where, again, I know people change, people
evolve,
but for me, I'm not gonna put them in that situation. Just by me on paper having sole custody, I'm not doing that. But it's times when he was out, he would lead him at his mom's house and haul ass, get drunk and haul ass. And his mom calling me talking about she a recovering alcoholic, she can't deal with the noise. My kid's never been bad, but she's a palm colored lady. And she's like, oh, I can't deal with the noise. It's just too much. So now I got to pick them up, which they were supposed to be in your possession. And I just found out recently, I don't know if you want to share with them. It's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And I'm not going to turn this into a dad bashing thing, but what's something that you told me recently and that shit kind of threw me through the roof because I had no clue that this had went on. Okay. I was on the phone with somebody and you overheard me talking about.
Okay, so this is not really a laughing matter, but basically, when I was in like the second grade, maybe, yeah, like the second grade, my dad, he used to pick us up from school Wednesdays and Mondays, I think. Wednesdays and Mondays and sometimes Fridays. And we used to go over there on the weekends. So the house he was staying at, or house he was staying at, one day it used to always have a certain smell in here. Like it used to always smell. So one day he was in the kitchen and he was boiling something and it was making that smell like come throughout the house. So when he left out the back door because he went. I knew what he did, but I never really thought anything was wrong with it. I never really thought to say, "Oh, daddy, that's wrong." Da da da. So after he had left out the door, it was just me and my sister in the house. So I went to go see what he was making, and when I looked on a paper towel in the kitchen, it was these small white squares.
Oh, he was cooking cocaine. Yes.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
So I'm on the phone. Fast forward, I'm on the phone. This was probably when school got out. I'm on the phone talking to somebody, and I think they were saying how people smoke dirties, and I was like, if a bitch say they smoke dirty and they ain't know they lying, you know the smell of crack, like you'll never forget that smell. And she go, I know what crack smell like. They stink. And I was like, what? How the fuck you know what crack smell like? And she told me, and I was livid. I was pissed. Cause why do you have them in there inhaling that shit? Like your parenting ain't kick in to say, let me do this in another house, or let me have them go outside and play. Like it's little shit like that. Like I ain't let it slide to say I will force them to be up under him. Like I'm not doing that.
He got a couple comments coming in. Do you see Kelso comment? I had it on the screen.
I see.
They say
that look like Jay Lyric.
No, I got another one right now.
Oh, it's a delay. So
it's done now. They say
okay.
They say nah.
It may just appear that way to you because you are looking through the eyes as a female child. You sound like you were having conversations you don't need to be privy to respectfully. He talking about me?
I don't know. Let me see. I'll go to the next comment. Let me see me clear it up. He said he'll probably chasing bread. No man will ever have love for you like that man. Cherish him while he's here.
What?
He said he probably was chasing bread. No man will ever love you. He said no man will ever have love for you like that man. Cherish him while he's here. And Jay Leary said, as a father, I don't say you should force it, but I do believe you should encourage them to see him, especially if he's trying.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to speak on my personal feelings towards the situation, but I will tell y'all from the outside looking in, there is a plethora of shit that has happened to where I highly doubt you would still feel the same, that it was just chasing bread. That shit was beyond chasing bread. So I'm gonna leave that where it's at. If she ever choose to share that shit with people, then that's on her. But I'm not. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you, yeah, that's probably what it was. No, the fuck it wasn't. No. But anyway, again, I'm not gonna make this a dad bashing thing. I was really just like getting to a point. But I felt bad for my kids, in the sense because you can't choose your parents. And it kind of made me look back on myself. Like, I didn't have a bad childhood growing up. I didn't have no sad sob story, wasn't no struggle. However, oddly enough, my dad turned into a deadbeat as well.
How did he turn into a deadbeat?
He put women before his kids.
Oh
He
yeah,
he has a
he
bad
still
habit.
do that.
But where was your dad at?
So my dad moved here, and I
Uh-huh.
know my family that's watching might get offended, get mad because they so team him. But my dad moved here because his mother, my grandmother, told him, you need to be there with your kids. My mom wanted to move back to Jacksonville because this is where she's from. She was unhappy being in another state with no family or whatever. So my mom moved back to Jacksonville. She made it clear she didn't want to be with my dad. That's the end of it. However, my grandma told my dad, you need to be with your kids. So he packed up, moved. He stayed with my mom, I think, until he got on his feet. I don't remember how long he was there. It wasn't long. We moved here February 1997. Me and my mom did. My dad moved here probably like May. And he stayed with us for a little while, then he moved out. Um all of a sudden he introduced me to this lady who ended up being my stepmom in the long run. And it was the situation of, how some people can do certain things at their mom house that they can't do at their dad house. So my mom, I was mature. So my mom let me, back then we didn't have social media. So it wasn't, I believe kidnappings and all this type of stuff been going on. Social media just makes you more aware of a lot now. But back then, parents didn't have to be so scared for your kids to go to the roller skating rink with a group of friends, or to the movies with a group of friends. Like, you didn't have to be scared about stuff like that. So I was able to do those things. When I went to my dad's house, my stepmom was a little more stricter with her kids, her son and her daughter. So because they couldn't do shit, I couldn't do shit. So that's where the conflict started becoming. And I'm like, hey, and mind you, I was a daddy's girl.
So he was being a father at that point.
I was a daddy's girl, but he wouldn't allow me to do things because his stepkids couldn't do things. And then it went from there to I'm trying to think of the age. So I probably was like 12 or 13.
With the
Every
sheriff?
extracurricular act, huh?
Talking about the sheriff?
Yeah, I was finna talk about that. But every extracurricular activity I was in, my mama paid for. My mom was there. My daddy didn't. He didn't want to come cross town because he stayed on the south. He didn't come to the north side to my games. My mama went ahead and put my brother in football. My daddy didn't come to that shit. Um, and then my stepsister wanted to cheer, so my stepmom put her in the park over here on the north side. So then all of a sudden now my dad could bring his ass to the north side. So it was little things that I'm starting noticing that I'm feeling a certain kind of way about. Then it turned to when I started realizing he put women before me. My stepsister was on the cheer team with me. I've always been a loved person. Everybody I meet, and everybody want to call me their god sister, their goddaughter, everything. So this lady had a team mom on the chilling team bought me this dress because I won Miss Outlaw, which was the highest thing you could win at Far View at the time. And she bought me this dress. It was very form fitting. I probably was like 15 or 16. And my stepmom said I couldn't wear it, but my mom said I could. And this lady came to my practice and told me, who was the lady that got you this dress? Everybody looking crazy. The lady like, I got her this, and she's like, I told her she couldn't have it. And I was like, well, my mama said I could. Baby she tried to grab my chest, but the way she did it kind of hit me, and then she grabbed or whatever. That was the start of the bullshit. My daddy was team her, whatever. To make a long story short, then his abuse started where it wasn't consistent physical abuse at all. I could count on one hand how many times I've ever been hit by either one of my parents. However, once was enough. My daddy has on his record right now a strangulation of a minor.
Y'all,
Because
y'all kids, y'all ain't been through nothing.
you said I ain't been through nothing.
Y'all, well, your daddy beat you one time. If it hit you one time,
That's not beating. That's
he
not
could have
beating.
killed her.
oh shit, y'all want to hear my life? Then that's something.
Yeah, I ain't had to go
Shoot.
through shit like that. So
Oh.
yeah, and that shit turned into a shit show because I was accused of something. Come to find out I didn't even do it. You never apologized for it. And your mom is the one that told me to call the police. But when the police came and took him to jail, that same mom and his brother turned their back on me. Now I forgave them now. I probably didn't forgive them, but I verbally said I forgive them and I'm over it. But everybody turned their back on me. They ain't fuck with me. I remember my grandma wrote me a letter and was like, I heard you coming to St. Louis. I hope you don't think you staying here. Like everybody turned their back on me because they believed because I'm a child that I couldn't possibly be telling the truth. But I told you what he did. You said call the police. So yeah, I went through a lot. To this day, I still don't fuck with him. And after all he did, he ended up needing a place to stay when I was grown, and I let him live with me, even through everything he did to me. And he fucked that up.
How you needed a place to stay?
Putting women first.
And that's why I always tell people. They always tell us I'm trying to get a boyfriend. They already got kids, stepfather, stepmother. Y'all black people need to cut that mess out too. You got kids, especially more than one. Just focus on your damn kids. Stop trying to get somebody to be in your damn face all the time. I don't like that for men or women. I believe once you have kids, you shouldn't be trying to get in a relationship. Period. Because
what?
You should be focusing all your energy on your kids at that point. You don't have time. You know how much work a relationship is? And a lot of times the reason why he probably didn't want to come over there and mess with you is because she was telling him acting crazy anytime he would go around your mom. She was probably jealous of your mom, thinking that they're gonna be doing something if you go see your kids or something. And that's what it is. So he like, I'm trying to keep some peace in my house. I'm trying to keep this little piece of woman that I got and forget my kids because they act like they mama anyway.
Man, no. No, that wasn't the case at all.
You say,
But
but Wendy, when he did pick women plural over his children, that sounded like he just picked his wife.
he not even with her. That's a whole nother story. He not even with her. So, I mean, whatever you thought you was doing, I hope you learned a lesson from it.
Jay Leary say,
Cause you done lost both your kids. My brother don't talk to him either.
How long he was with her?
He was with her for a long time. Cause even when I got grown, they was together. I don't know, years be flying by. Like I said, I stopped talking to him for a lot till he
About
needed
20 years? About 10? How long?
It was definitely at least 10. They might not have been married 10, but they were together 10.
And people always be like, well, you
Yeah.
don't got no kids. Nigga, what you mean? that's the crazy question.
I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind for me. I'm sure it affects me subconsciously, but it's out of sight, out of mind. I mean, it is what it is. Winterton, I mean, what you from you haven't seen my dad a lot in your life, but what do you take from what you see him as a person, like good and bad, whatever the case may be?
Okay, so how I see him, I mean, when we first tried to, I guess when we first tried to talk to him, because you're right, I haven't seen him a lot. I feel like I seen him when I was younger, like maybe in kindergarten or something like that. But after that, I probably didn't see him till I was like probably 9 or 10 years old. So what I think about him, he do kind of put women before kids. Like even when I be at his house, he stay with his girlfriend. He do everything for his girlfriend, but when we want something, no. Like sometimes I could tell he do be trying, but then he smoke and he be getting mad. Like I can kind of see where you kind of get your temper from just a little bit, but yours be like built off on some other stuff. I don't know.
It's a woman rap is way worse than a man rap. I tell you that much. But that's why I say we really can't hate nobody because people be having these vices.
Mm-hmm.
And his vice is just women and probably sex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we can't hate nobody. Just like if his vice was crack or
Mm-hmm.
his vice was drinking or something like that. It's just a vice. And if he wanted, I bet he would want to make better decisions.
Yeah.
But we have to go back to down his path in his life
Mm-hmm.
and see why he making decisions that he making. But we can't judge, we can't hate.
Yeah.
We can't hate along this journey, man. We all gonna do some crazy stuff.
I be trying, and that's why I live by out of sight, out of mind, because because I am not a forgiving person, I don't want my mind to dwell on things that I don't forgive. So I kind of try to, like, if I don't have to see you or deal with you, that's perfect for me because I'm not thinking about it. I'm not, worried about it. So what parenting styles from me do you see from either one of my parents? I know you said my mama now is showing emotional stuff to you.
I definitely see you and Gigi like kind of the same thing. But the thing about Gigi is with Gigi, I could honestly say if Gigi was my mama, I would love her to be my mama. Like,
damn.
Not saying you a bad mama, like Gigi when it comes to like her parenting style, like she real lenient. Like Gigi, she good on the education and stuff, but when it come to chores, we don't got none of that over there. It's been times it's like Gigi is independent. Like she she in there washing dishes and we on the phone. It's like
I do believe that. I believe the kids sure should be minimum. As I get older, I feel like the kids should be free of responsibility because at a certain point, number one, they didn't ask to be here. That's number one.
Correct.
So they're not here to be no little cleaners.
Okay.
So I feel like the mom should be maintaining that. I think the kids should be. I think it should be cleaning all day, but that's why we got to get back to the order. God over Christ, man or woman, man, and all this because the woman could be home all day and she could be cleaning the kids. See, that's causing this unnecessary trauma when things are done out of order and not under the rim of God. And you need to learn from this. As you a young lady, you will be able to see these things and not make mistakes. No, the kids shouldn't have to clean. The mom supposed to be at home cleaning. Yeah, the kids should have some little responsibility, but it shouldn't be a mandatory thing to where it's like when I come home, this stuff better be done. It's like, no, the kids supposed to be living their life, having fun, and when they get to 18, then all the bullshit of the world start coming down.
I get that, but let me tell you why I'm not like that no more.
She say she trying to prepare us for when we get older because she said when she was young, the same thing I just said.
She's saying it, but I was finna say something before that. I was a housewife, okay? When my youngest was probably like 1 or 2, I was a housewife then. All that stuff you saying a woman's supposed to do, I was doing. Let me tell you why I had to nip all this shit in the bud. Not only because I was on my own and I had became a single mom and I needed her to grow up faster than she did so she could help me, but for the same specific reason she said, if my mama was her mama, she wouldn't have to do shit. That handicapped me. I do not want my kids to end up like that. My mama, even though she had 2 kids, I tell people to this day, I was definitely the favorite. But when it came to chores, I didn't have to do shit. My mama cleaned the kitchen, she cleaned, but we weren't messy kids either. Her house wasn't destroyed. We didn't do stuff like that. I stayed in my room. My room was junky. If she came in there, she say, "Why your room not clean?" I know how to find it. She going by her business. I was spoiled as fuck. I will let my kids be spoiled to a certain extent. If you follow my rules, if you make good grades, I will give you the things that you desire and the things that you want. If you can't do that, I'm just going to give you what you need and keep that shit moving. You are going to do chores on a consistent basis. So when you're an adult, you don't have to feel like I don't want to clean these motherfucking dishes. I ain't never cleaned dishes a day in my life. I don't feel like cleaning this shit. I don't want to vacuum. I ain't never vacuumed a day in my life. I don't want to vacuum this shit. Make up my bed. Do I look like a making bed, bitch? I don't make up beds. I don't want. Yes, that shit handicapped me.
Because you looked at it the wrong way. You were supposed
How?
to look at it as my mom doing what I'm supposed to be doing in the future. And not only is she making you doing it, she's setting the example, and she's also teaching you, like, Wendy, you're gonna have to be cleaning up when you get older. Wendy,
she didn't say that. She didn't say that. So
that's why I say that she didn't teach you that. She sounded like she put a good example, but she did not instruct you and teach you. That's why raising this. That's why all these people that I want to have a kid, don't have no kids that you gonna teach them something.
I think
if she would have drilled that in you, like, yeah, you're gonna have to clean up, and she would have been, when you did wash dishes, when she came, it was fun. She make it fun when you watch it. Come on, Wendy, come on, wash some little dishes real quick. No, and it's fun, and you're doing it, and you're getting that experience, but it's not no. That's your job as a kid to wash dishes.
If you do it as a child, it becomes routine. It becomes a habit. That way, when you're an adult, you ain't gonna be satisfied with going to sleep with a sink full of dishes. You're not gonna be satisfied with that. And
maybe you won't.
Not only did I leave the house spoiled, but as soon as I was an adult, their dad, who I married, spoiled me. I did not have to cook. I did not have to clean until he started working. He left the streets for good and started working, and I became a housewife. That's when all that shit kicked in. Once I was on my own, the mindset of me never having to do this shit so much and needing help, because now I got to work and I don't have another adult here to clean up and stuff. Winter, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Then it became, I can't just be unfair to her. Now Autumn is of age. Autumn, you need to do this. You need to do that. Piggy was babied for a long ass time.
I can't say this. I remember the first time I like legitimately had to stay home by myself. I was 5 years old, and you told us we stayed at Rolling River, and I remember you told us we was in you and Daddy room, and you told me, don't leave this bed. You said don't open the door for nobody. And I remember we was watching the TV. It was on Nick Jr. You said don't leave this bed, and ever since that day, that's when it was kind of like I felt like the second parent, because everything, once you left for work, it was like everything was on me. And it wasn't as bad when I was young, because I don't really remember much from when I was young. But as I got older and it was more like a normal thing, it was kind of like, oh, okay, like whatever, you leaving. It kind of got to where it felt like they know I'm not their parent, so of course they not gonna listen to me. Like, they gonna do what they want, and then I get in trouble. So I be trying, but at the same time, it's like they not gonna treat me like how they treat you. Like, and then Piggy, like once me and Autumn, we was baby, we had to grow up like really fast, especially me. Autumn, she coming to the point where I am now. But Piggy, she was baby for a very long time. Like, she 9, and I don't think she can use the microwave like that yet.
Piggy ain't trustworthy, so
I remember she was probably like 5 or 6 or something. She was older, and me and Autumn used to laugh at her and be like, "Girl, you like." She was probably maybe 7. She was like, "Girl, you 7 years old and you don't know how to make a sandwich." Like, we used to get so mad because it was always she needed us. Like, because you was never home, she needed us, and it was aggravating because, like, damn, we can do this ourselves. How come she can't? It was like me and Autumn this, me and Autumn that, and it was never Piggy. Piggy was the one that needed and wanted everything every 5 minutes. And if you don't do it, I'ma tell mommy.
I do feel bad as a parent out of everything that I do, and I honestly feel like I'm a great parent. Anybody I come across that see my kids, they around my kids,
they always compliment you.
They always compliment me. But I feel like my biggest, and I don't have many regrets, but my biggest regret is forcing Winter to grow up before her time. I feel like it's gonna hurt her in the long run.
Cry.
I'm not trying to. I feel like it's gonna hurt her in the long run. Like, I be scared she not gonna want to have kids. Like, it ain't gonna bother me. It ain't gonna bother me, but I wouldn't want her to not want kids because I had to raise two sisters, and that's a lot. Like staying home by yourself. Um, at 5 years old to watch a 4 and
No.
1 year old. That's a lot for anybody. And I don't talk about it like it's something I'm proud of, but I talk about it as a testimony that I really did that shit by myself. And I did what I had to do so I wouldn't be a burden to people, and ask people for favors, like, can you get my kids? Like, I hear people complain all the time about, I don't want to watch her, not me but other people kids, I don't want to watch her kids, or she got all this going on. I never wanted to be that person, so I always tried to find a way to figure out how to do shit and get shit done on my own. But my biggest regret is that it's gonna hurt Winter in the long run, because I put a lot of pressure behind her over all my kids. And I think it's because you was my firstborn. Because you and Autumn close in age, but you always was like more mature. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You always was more mature. So I kind of put that pressure on you. And I feel bad. And I told you when we talked on the phone, like, I apologize.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not too late for apology because now it's kind of like a normal thing. Because even though got my stepdad and stuff, it's not really ever gonna be the same. Like I can't really I remember, but I can't really remember when it felt like we was like just like all one happy family, and it felt like I ain't have to do anything. I ain't feel like I had to be like parenting these kids. Like when you tell me teach Autumn cheers, it's kind of like I don't know how to teach her what I already know how to do. I kind of be like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not you. Like how you kind of taught me how to do cheer or whatever. I didn't know how to teach her that. It was kind of like do this or I quit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know. It was weird. And then with Piggy, I know Piggy look up to me, but I don't like being bothered now. Now I just be like, leave me alone. Like I tell y'all to do something, y'all don't listen. Like I really don't even want to talk to y'all for real. Like if anything, I know they probably watching this, but if anything, I think I'm closer to Autumn than I am Piggy. But I feel like I was always close to Autumn because she came right after me. So me and Autumn, we was always close, but once the summer came, we had got like closer. We started talking about more stuff because before, it wasn't like we hated each other, but it was kind of like we kind of was like distant from each other. She always felt like I favored Piggy, or it was always me and Piggy this, me and Piggy that. And Autumn knows, and I tell her this all the time. I say I try to include you in stuff for real, and you just don't want to do nothing. Like every time somebody like at school, people don't even be knowing who Autumn is.
I don't even know who Autumn is.
Oh my god.
She Autumn is antisocial, and she suffers from social anxiety. So she don't like people because she think people don't like her. This is something we've been going through for years.
That's why I can't have no kid, because I see like everybody got some individual. A lot of people got mental issues.
Mhm.
Not saying that's what she has,
Yeah,
but a
but
lot
yeah.
of people have. No, everybody got mental issues.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Everybody's stuff is to different levels, and it's so everybody is on a case by case basis, and stuff is so intricate. I, and people need a lot of attention.
Yeah. And
I
that's,
don't see how
but
people.
you know what? It's because
Some
of the
people
world.
need a lot of attention.
It's
Some
because of
people
how
don't need.
it's how the world is trying to transition, and people falling into that bait of, if we didn't have social media, I don't think attention would be as
No, I don't
needy
think.
as it is.
I think it's back to what I said. The mom is not in the home all day to see every single shift in the children, because you have to be there all the time to really to really raise these children and successful. You have to be there all the time.
Do you think that people kind of get controlling and protecting confused? Do you think I'm more of a controlling parent or more of a protector? Or what do you oh, answer that first and then I ask my other question.
I don't think you neither.
Mm-hmm.
You protect. It's like you a little bit of both. Well, I wouldn't even say you controlling. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you controlling. It's more so you just doing your job. Like I like controlling. I feel like it's like you're making me do something that I really don't have to do. Like let's say What's an example? Because I don't have an example of you controlling me.
Well, do you see any traits in me as a parent that you don't want, but you feel like you might have?
I already got your anger. Like,
No,
no,
anger is
you
not good.
no, but like once it gets to a point, I snap. Like
No,
when,
you don't supposed to do that.
but it's I would with me. It's like I hold stuff in, and it's like when I get mad, I cry and I scream and I yell, and you be like, "Stop yelling at them, Winter. Don't be nasty." And I was like, I can't help it because behind all this, they trigger me. They mess with me. And it's like I really have no reason to be mad, but I get mad. It's like once I get mad, I just snap on them. I hit them. I scream, I yell, and then
You can't do that.
I remember one time I got mad at Autumn. I smacked her on the back, and her back was burning for like 2 days.
Oh damn.
And I remember she had told you, but I don't remember if you whooped me or not. I think you did.
Do you think I whoop y'all for no reason?
No.
It's a lot of people against
Sometimes-
whoopings, and
Whooping is such a what the?
I whoop ass.
Why?
Well, no, you don't even really whoop us no.
He told me why.
Whooping is a
Let me tell you something. Okay, whoopings is played out. Okay, two things. So one, I do not whoop or hit my kids for no reason. Have I ever whooped y'all for no reason, like on some abuse shit? Like just I'm hitting you just because.
Oh no.
Two, whoopings are played out, but guess what?
They work.
If they try me to the point where I feel like you trying me like a bitch on the street,
she gonna use her hands.
What I tell y'all to do?
Put your set up.
Put your set up.
See, that's why I say fathers got to be in the home because if
Damn!
fathers in the home,
because, listen.
if fathers in the home, it wouldn't whooping wouldn't be necessary because his presence as a man
No,
will
because
dissipate any type of disrespect,
remember-
disobedience, or misbehavior.
Yeah,
Period.
but I remember this one time I was finna get a whooping. This when we stayed in the when we had the 2 floors in the house. I remember you was finna give me a whooping. I ran to my daddy and I said, "Daddy, don't let her whoop me." And he was like, "What's go get your whooping like a big girl."
I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with whoopings, and it's a simple theory, and this makes sense. And tell me, do this make sense?
Okay.
When you a kid, we here to learn. We didn't ask to be
That's
here.
true.
We come on this earth. We don't know nothing. We
That's
trying
true.
to learn. So if we make a mistake, we shouldn't get a whooping because we trying to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's against the law when you're in a relationship to beat your woman. But she for something that she already know better than
Your
she need to
woman?
be doing. Yes.
You damn right you shouldn't be hitting.
But
no
she
damn.
know she doing wrong. But you gonna be the kid that don't know?
I don't
She
whoop.
doing
Hold
wrong.
on,
but
hold on.
she
Let's clarify.
She don't whoop as soon as
I
shit
do
happen.
not whoop. First of all, my kids can tell you how many times they get whooped. I don't whoop just because. I don't whoop if you fuck up and make a mistake once, twice, 3 times. This shit has to be some consistent ass shit or some shit you were just defiant. If you fucking up in school where you disrespected a teacher or you did some shit I told you not to do.
We gotta have a real good reason for you not to want to whoop us.
Yeah, like I don't just whoop them for no reason. Like I'm trying to think of the last time y'all got whooped and why.
For real, we not as we wasn't never bad.
My
but
kids
our
were never
whooping-
bad.
Our whooping, because I remember we used to get whoopings a lot, but it was kind of we always did the same stuff over and over.
Mhm.
But now I don't. The last time I got a whooping was like before I left for Texas, but
Before she left for Texas. You want to tell them why you got a whooping? Because I don't need people thinking that I just whoop my
Florida
kids.
law allows spankings.
Oh yeah, I know they do.
Oh damn.
I got a whooping for talking to somebody I wasn't supposed to be talking to.
Yeah.
What?
She
Oh,
said
boy.
talking to a boy she wasn't supposed to be
How
talking to.
she is?
She 13.
13. I'm allowed to have a boyfriend and stuff. I just wasn't supposed to be talking to him. But
You're too old.
No.
Oh.
just wasn't supposed to talk to him.
What I say go.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
anyway-
let me tell you, let me tell y'all, I do not whoop just because Winter was being sneaky. She hadn't changed his name in the phone to some other shit. Like I'm just dumb and I ain't pull moves like this. I done figured it all out. You done put the nigga name under something else, but his email's still there, so I know it's him. Like,
oh, you just didn't like him?
No,
No,
it was a bunch of shit that hadn't happened, and I told her that shit is dead. You're done, and she still was doing it behind my back. So before she left for Texas, I hadn't seen it or figured out she was still trying to be slick. That what's things I don't play about in the house where it's I have no understanding and you will get your ass whooped about.
13 too young for a
Hiding
boyfriend.
stuff in your phone.
I'm being realistic, and we're gonna get to that. I'm being realistic. These kids are kids. They far more advanced than us because of social media and all this YouTube bullshit. I'm not gonna play dumb and say, "Oh, you can't have a boyfriend." I know what time it is. I'd rather a motherfucker tell me what's going on. We'll get to that next because I was going there anyway. But what's things that I have zero tolerance for in the house that you would get a whooping for if those things are broken?
Okay, hiding stuff in your phone, like, and it gotta be like bad, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, no deleting messages, no hiding stuff. What else?
Grades.
Oh yeah, grades. But it gotta be with your grades. It gotta be like
Cause I don't even really whoop about no
yeah.
grades.
It be like give me your phone. But with the phone thing, you ain't seeing your phone till them grades up and stay up. Cause
Right.
oh my god, last year that was probably cause when I used to get my phone took, I never got it took for no long time. It was like I either get cause I used to be at school by myself. I was
Mm-hmm.
at Darden by myself. So you just give it back the next day. So it never really did anything. But oh, I know I'm gonna get my phone back tomorrow. So it was like, cause usually when you would take it, it'd be at night anyways. So I'd be like, oh, I know I'm gonna get my phone back in the morning. So okay. But then it start, and then sometimes like you take it for like a week or the weekend, something like that. But this particular year, I don't know what changed, but this year cause I take a lot of advanced classes or whatever. But no, it wasn't this year. Last year, um, I had this on my progress report. Her and my stepdad, they wanted to see my progress report. And normally I don't show them my progress report because I feel like the progress report don't really matter. It's the report cards that, really show what you did for that quarter. So I used to never really show the progress reports. So when they asked to see it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, because I knew what was on there, but I wasn't like expecting the reaction I got. So once I showed them, I think I had 5 bad grades, and only three of them was good. Them was probably like some electives or something that was good. Everything else, it was either a D or an F. So soon as that, they thought it was a joke or something. They were like, "When's you being for real?" Like something like that. They like, "When's are you serious?" Da, da, da. So then she took the phone, but as she take the phone, she laughing. So I'm thinking like, "What's going on? Are you gonna give it back?" Da, da, da. And so then eventually like, she started making me like do makeup work and because I used to always have makeup work. Like I always put the phone before my grades. It was like a bad habit I had, but I'm gonna get to where it kind of stopped. I'm gonna get to it. So then she took the phone. That was probably in November. Y'all, I ain't see that phone back until January. So from November till end of January, I
And
didn't
I
get
really
my
think it
phone
was like
back.
October.
October,
I think
November.
it was October.
No, it was. It was October because it
Mm-hmm.
was a few days after. No, 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 no. It was November because I remember I had it on Thanksgiving, so it was like It was like end of November and then January. So then I got the phone back. My grace was good at the time, so she was like, "Okay, maybe she'll keep them up." They went right back down. She took the phone again.
Oh yeah, because he told me don't give you the phone. He said don't get her the phone because she's going to fuck them grades back up. And I was like, no, I think she learned her lesson.
That was a long time.
And she proved me wrong.
Yeah, the grades went back down. They wasn't as bad as they was before, but it went back down. So I got the phone took again. Didn't see it until March. But even so, from January to March, I didn't even have the phone back fully at that time. Once March came around, I could only get my phone after school, after all my homework was done. I couldn't bring my phone to school, and I could have it after school after my homework was done, and then I could have it on the weekends. So I still didn't fully have my phone back, but that's when my grades started kind of boosting up. I didn't have my phone to be on all day.
And what else I did?
What else did you do?
Because your grades was bad, what happened at school?
Oh, that was when track season was coming up. I couldn't do track because my
So
grades
do you
was
think
bad.
that made me a bad parent because I took your phone away for a long period of time and I took extracurricular activities from you?
No.
But did you think I was being mean at the time?
at the time I probably thought you was, but now it's like, okay, I mean, you kind of did what you was supposed to. Because, of course, at the time, I would have thought, man, she tripping. Why she doing all this stuff? Especially when you told me I couldn't do track. I definitely felt some kind of way. But now, I don't. I mean, to me now, think about it. I mean, I don't really care because I know if the grades happen again, it's gonna be the same way, probably longer. If my grades fall to shot, y'all, I promise you, I'm probably not gonna see that phone till summer.
Now, one of the things that I want to go back to is what Justin was just saying. I was going to talk about, a lot of people are against parents being friends with their kids. And I'm against it to a certain extent, but I do feel like I have a good relationship with y'all to like people would think that we have that friend relationship because
I mean, we do, but we don't.
yeah, we do, but we don't because we could talk. You could talk to me about anything. My kids could talk to me about anything. We have fun like we sisters, but they know at the end of the day, all I gotta do is get them a look, and they know playtime over. Like,
Bro, it was Piggy the other day. Oh, it was on my birthday. It was on my birthday. We was out to eat, and my mama had said something, and Piggy jumped at her like,
oh yeah,
and at first I thought she was playing my mom, and then my mom looked like my mom was like, I'm finna hit you in your face.
Justin, how do you feel about parents having these friendship relationships with their kids? Because I know a lot of people, it fucks the kids up because they don't have that parent balance. They try to strictly be friends, but
Well, it depends on how you parenting.
right.
I just believe in treating your kids not like their investment, but treating your kids how you want to be treated when you get old and you can't do shit for yourself.
Right.
Now, if you want a motherfucker swinging on you, hitting on you when you an old lady, talking shit to you, then you do that. You know, a lot of people, especially black parents, they feel like, I could treat my kids like shit, but they supposed to treat me like a queen. Nah, you get the same treatment you give. But far as them being friends, I think you supposed to be your kids' friend.
Yeah.
Because as they grow to be an adult. Like after a while, they're not your children.
Right.
They just some other grown folks. And hopefully they could be assets, you know what I'm saying, be a benefit in your life. So yeah, you want to treat your kid not like a friend, like when they're a child. You don't want to come down to a child level. What you want to be leading in a good example to show, okay, when you're 35, this is how you supposed to be moving as a friend. And all that friend stuff, black people got the wrong people, not black people, but people in general got the wrong idea of a friend. People think a friend is, we can go get high together, we can get drunk together, we're gonna do some devious acts together, and we both know about it. We friends. Them not your friends. I keep trying to tell people.
Right.
Your friends is the one that tell you when you're going off the wrong path. They tell you when, you know what I mean, you making a bad move. So in that sense, yes, we should be friends with our children. So when they do get older, and you could be able to tell them, you know what, you making a bad move, and they listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you were just an authoritarian dictatorship while they was younger, they'll probably want to rebel, because not only did not show them friendship, but you didn't show them real love either.
Right.
So you have to just set a good example to where your kids could look at you and know, okay, damn, my mom wasn't doing this when she was at this level. Why I'm messing up in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's pretty much what I try to do. You feel like I do that for the most part? I try to make it a balance to where they know I'm still mom at the end of the day. It's a respect level there. It's expectations there. But at the same time, we talk about pretty much anything. They know they can't, even if they wanted to. They can't hide nothing from me. I put them up on game. I used to get them girl code way when you was in what?
2nd grade. I didn't know what that was.
She didn't know what it was. I went off on her because of petty shit. She talking to her friend Lil Boo thing. I said, baby, we don't move like that. We don't do shit like that.
Oh, she was talking to her friend, man,
Wait,
boyfriend.
What?
Ain't that what happened? When you broke the girl code and I went off on you about it?
No, I didn't break the code. She did.
Oh, excuse me.
I had
but you did something too, and I said you breaking the code.
That was another boy.
But what was all this liking the boy though? Why you like boys? Not nothing wrong.
You want me
with
to
it.
like girls?
No, I don't want you to like boy. I want you to like the books and focus. Why with the boys though? Wouldn't that kick in?
That been kicked in.
Why?
That started a long time ago. I like the boys in the preschool.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. So what is it? I don't know if you want to talk about this now, but is there like is there dating? Y'all dating now? 13 is too young to be liking. Boy, what you?
No, it's not.
You
What
think
grade? What
13 too
grade she
young?
in? What grade 13 is?
She in the eighth
37?
grade.
Eighth? Nah, that's not too young. But still, I would encourage you not to.
I tell her to just keep her mind focused on the. I always tell you, the person you talk to now, you probably will not be talking to in 2 years. I instill that in her. I always try to tell her to make sure she holds her own, so she never have to depend on anybody. Um, I try to teach my kids. She got my hustler spirit by far, by far. I just try to teach my kids to be successful. Even with schooling, we talk about, I'm telling her like, hey, you need to get done with school as fast as possible. If they offering you college credits in high school, they weren't really doing that for us back when we was in school. That dual enrollment shit had just started my 12th grade year for ninth graders. So if you could do that, so when you graduate and you only got 2 years left, go that route. Fuck trying to go to a popular high school because you want a high school life. When high school's over, nobody's gonna care that you was the most popular. Nobody's gonna care that you was a cheerleader. Nobody's gonna care that you won prom queen. What they gonna care about is your fucking degree. What education do you have? And I understand from her point of view though that she wants to be at a black school and do those things, but I try to let her know none of that shit is going to matter when you get out of school.
So I was gonna ask a question. I forgot what it was a good question too when it comes to dating
Mm-hmm.
and
Like, it's a question towards me.
yeah. But you go ahead. I forgot. Fuck.
Well, how I feel about the whole dating thing, like I always tell them, kids gonna be kids. Um, as long as they can come, I'm not gonna sit up and be that person and say you can't have no boyfriend. You can't have. I'd rather you come tell me what it is you feeling, what it is you thinking, what you got going on, rather than you feel like you can't come to me at all because, oh, my mama said I can't have a boyfriend, so I can't go to her and tell her shit. Cause kids gonna do what they want to do. They are at school more than they're at home. They're under the supervision of their friends more than they're under supervision of me. Only thing I can monitor and stay up on is them social media and them phones. That's it. So I'd rather my kids be upfront. You like a boy? Cool. Tell me about him. What's his name? What he like? What he got going on? What y'all be talking about on the phone? That's the type of stuff that I'm gonna more so be inclined to ask because I want you to feel like you can talk to me about those things. And I think I do a very good job because she tells me everything. My
This
other
what I
two
was gonna
kids not
ask.
really into boys like that.
This is what I gonna ask. Do you think at 13 she's able to handle the emotional aspect of a relationship?
No. No.
That's what I'm saying. So
No,
that's why
I've
I want to encourage these kids to get in relationships when they're young because these kids too weak emotionally.
They are. They are too weak emotionally, but it still goes back to kids are going to do what they want to do regardless. So if I tell her, no, you can't have a boyfriend, and she turn around and do it anyway behind my back, then I'm going to be less of a parent for whooping her for finding out you got a boyfriend, or whooping her or yelling at her or cussing at her because she's doing something I told her not to do. Instead, hey, I understand. Shit, my first boyfriend, I was probably 10 years old. I understand the whole boyfriend thing. It's just school. That's just how the shit go. It's a cycle. My mama was in school, had a boyfriend. Your mama was in school, had a boyfriend. It is what it is. Just tell me what's going on. I want you to be an open book with me. I want you to tell me how you feeling. But don't I keep it real with you? I tell you, hey, you naive. You dumb as fuck. Don't be dumb for no nigga. Don't let this nigga embarrass you. Am I wrong? Do I not keep it real with you?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna allow, which is why she got in trouble for trying to sneak and talk to this boy. I'm not gonna allow nobody to make you look stupid, make you look foolish. I'm gonna teach you the game in all aspects of life. And if you be naive and dumb to that shit, that's when I'm gonna put a knife to that shit and cut it. And you won't be able to do this shit till you grown. Cause it's gonna go like this or it's not gonna go at all. So
I can dig it. I can agree with both. I agree with both. I just encourage not to, but I know how these kids is these
yeah,
days.
you gotta know that. I can't be naive to the bullshit. I can't say, oh, I told my kids they can't have no boyfriend, and then they behind my back wilding. And the city's so small, and because these kids got social media now, it's so crazy. You'll know your
I don't
child
agree with
friend
kids having
parent.
phones. I wouldn't. My kids wouldn't have a
Man,
phone. If they do have a phone, it'll be a little track phone.
let
I
me
That's
tell
used to
it.
you,
have one
I
of
really don't like
those.
the phone situation. But again, this goes back to times are so different
You don't
now.
need no phone still.
No, times are so different. I need to know where my kids are at all times. I'm so scared for something to happen to them when I'm not around.
I'll get them the most basic phone with tracking. It'll be so basic. If they go to try to pull up Facebook, it'll just move so slow. Because no, I mean
But
like
guess what?
you guys, it's just phone now.
Guess
That's phone,
what?
so it's not necessary.
Trying to protect them. Think about when we were young. If you ain't supposed to be in the AOL chat, I bet you found your way in that bitch. If your mama told you don't get on LimeWire because you putting viruses on her computer, I bet you found a way to download that shit, download music anyway. Kids gonna do what the fuck they want to do. I'm not gonna be dumb to it. I'm not gonna tell my kids you can't have social media when I know Duval County is giving y'all laptops with access to every fucking thing. You can get on anything you fucking want to. Why would I put that type of expectation on myself, knowing kids gonna be slick and sneaky and do what
Well,
the
I
fuck
would
they
tell
want
her
to
you
do?
have a kid, but you got a boyfriend, but you wait till you probably 16, 17. Not right now.
So how can she have a boyfriend if she still gotta wait? That don't make sense.
You have one right now. You can have one though. It's coming. You don't think you can wait to 16 to have a boyfriend? Huh?
I can't hear you talking to Mike.
Oh, I could.
Why don't you wait though? Why I mean what's the rush?
It ain't no rush. It just I don't know.
You got all your life to be up under some dude.
I'll
I
That
tell
ain't
her.
gonna never that's
I ain't
never gonna
under no
end.
dude.
I'm just saying to
Yeah, she's
be
single right now. She ain't got no
to look.
boyfriend. She worried about her studies.
But yeah, I would wait till I'm 17. Cause you're not really missing out on nothing but people. I don't know what you're missing out. It's just really a nothing thing.
Yeah, but you know what? The same way our parents told us stuff and we didn't want to hear it and we felt like they think they know everything and times ain't the same and da da da. It took for us to be adults and go through shit on our own to realize I could have waited on that. I ain't have to do this. My mama was right. I honestly had this conversation with my cousin all the time. Like, our parents told us so much shit that meant well, but that shit went in one ear and out the other because I felt like, girl, times is different. You don't know what you're talking about. And I tell y'all all the time what shit is a cycle.
Mhm.
Everything is a cycle. So they know. I mean, even if they try to hide shit from me, I'm gonna find out and they know it.
I believe I believe people will listen to their parents if they're setting the right example. If
Uh-huh.
if they're leading the way in the right way, the father and everything is in order. I believe children. If your family, I done seen it. Your
Mhm.
family structure tight.
Yeah.
And you tell your children don't have no boyfriend, A, B, and C,
Mhm.
they'll be, my mom said, I can't have no boyfriend right now, but
Child, I don't believe it. I done seen.
it's
I done
out
went to
there.
school with pastor kids who were
We don't
under
go by
strict.
pastor because
Hold on, who under strict rules and authority, and they kids were the wildest ones.
but they probably pastors a lot of times when they go out in public, they put up a certain image, and then when they get around kids, they put up another image, and that's why the pastor children have it so bad because the last thing that people want to see is your first example as life is a hypocrite, is a fake, is a phony.
Yeah.
That just you lose respect for person right there. It's like, yo, why you acting like this in front of those people and you doing this in front
But you
of some
contradicted
people?
what you're saying because if that foundation is strong, like you said, how if they put this type of fear in these kids, where you better not do this, you better not
That's
embarrass
not
me.
the right example. I'm talking
How?
about example with love, not with authoritative.
So you don't think
dictatorship.
pastors give their kids love?
No, that's that fake Christian. Oh, baby, I love you, baby. That's that fake. I'm talking about real love. That yo, I love you, boom, boom, boom. I want the best for you. And your kids see you walking upright with love, they gonna want to be like their parents. Most kids want to be like their
fall
parents.
for that shit if you want to. I know all my kids want to be. Autumn might not want to be like me. She don't. Autumn nonchalant. That's my antisocial child. She don't really show emotion. So I don't know if she want to be like me. She don't say it. But my other two, I know for a fact they look up to me and want to be like me. I know for a fact they would do anything for me. But I tell them don't have a boyfriend, they're gonna go do that because that's the times we live in. No matter how much hold you think you have on a child, if they're around 900 other kids who out here talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, and YouTube CJ so cool and fucking this all that bullshit they watch, you really think your word is gonna stop everything that they see and hear? They gonna feel like mama don't know what she talking about, daddy don't know what they talking about. This is what we do in school.
Well, if they feel like that, you made a misstep somewhere along the line.
No, you see,
Yes,
that's
it
how
is.
you taking it.
Yeah.
It don't have nothing to do. That's just like saying everybody see my kids to this day and be like, oh my God, you did such an awesome job. When they grown, whatever path they take, I set in stone for what they could possibly be. But whatever influences them outside of that, when they get grown, and whatever happens to them, I have no control over that. I laid the foundation. I did an amazing job. But sometimes all it takes is one accident, one mistake, and somebody can go off their path. That has nothing to do with the parents. You cannot blame the parents for that. You can't blame the parents for that. So you think if my kids knew nothing about weed, nothing, and they get grown and they go smoke with somebody and all of a sudden they turned into the person that they were smoking with, that's the parent fault?
Yes.
How?
There's some type of trauma there. But
What?
I don't. Yes, it's the parents' fault.
How?
Because
if they knew nothing about it, how is that the parents'
Yeah, if
fault?
they were never exposed to it, they know nothing about it.
Because you would have told them that's not the way to go, son. They never seen you do it, and they know not to partake in it. They wouldn't do it.
That's not true.
And even if they do try it, they wouldn't fall into it so deep to where they can't make their way out.
But you don't know that. What if they liked it when they
I
did
never
it?
seen my mama smoke weed. My mama don't smoke nothing.
Yes, you do.
What she smoke?
Cigars.
With cigars, and she just started that shit.
But it ain't about your mama. You just seen somebody smoking weed. Your mama didn't partake.
I seen a bunch of people smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke that shit.
But still,
You can't say that. That's a case by case basis when it comes to influences and stuff like that. What do I tell y'all every day about leaders and followers? I preach this to my kids every fucking day and will cuss their ass out like a dog if they do anything that shows or indicates that you a fucking follower. What I say?
What? What's the question?
What do I tell y'all every day about leaders and followers?
Oh, you need to be a leader, not a follower.
If they get into it with somebody, or I'm trying to think of an example. If something happened, they telling me a story and it sound like they get in trouble. Okay, Autumn, for example. She one of her little friends was stealing packages off people's porch. And one of the people happened to be my neighbor. My neighbor got them on camera. Autumn didn't take anything, but the Autumn friend took it. So the neighbor came at me. I'm cussing Autumn out like a dog because you being a fucking follower. You knew that was wrong, and you still ran around the neighborhood with this motherfucker while she stole shit. And that's just an example of I don't play that following shit. My kids gonna be leaders by force. I don't play that following shit. I don't play that motherfucking lying shit.
You can force your kid to be a leader, but you can't force them not to have a boyfriend. What the?
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
How?
Cause I'm not at school when they at school. They might be calling somebody boyfriend and saying they ain't got no motherfucking boyfriend.
Well, they might be being a follower when you ain't around.
Followers stay in trouble. Followers, they grades stay down because you too busy trying to be somebody you not. You can't focus on your own shit. All that class clown bullshit, all that skipping class shit, not doing your work because you're on social media, all that's following behavior. I don't play that shit. So anytime y'all get fucked up in school, if it's because you were following behind somebody else or you doing something you know you ain't supposed to be doing, you being a fucking follower. And I don't play that shit. Period. And they know that. My baby told me.
I'm gonna tell him.
You what I was gonna say? What you know I was gonna say?
He was gonna say about the lunch thing.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, with this, okay. So okay. So
Don't say no names.
I'm not. Basically, I used to be cool with this girl, and I'm cool with people she cool with, but me and her, we end up falling out. Da da da. So basically, she at lunch when I sit down, her friends sit down with me, and so she feel like now she ain't got nobody to sit with, cause everybody's still friends with me. Cause it's not saying I'm like the leader of, cause I ain't in no clique, I ain't in no
She walks
whatever.
alone.
Yeah. So when it come down to that stuff, it's like at the end of the day, I can go with or without friends. I don't need none of y'all. Y'all are not saying y'all are temporary, but half y'all I'm probably not gonna talk to when I'm grown. So it's like I don't need none of y'all. So if you wanna sit with me, that's fine.
But I preach that to her, and that's why I preach to her and my kids when they argue. And I'm like, hey, when y'all don't have nobody else, all y'all have is each other. All that fucking fighting and shit and not getting along, that's bullshit. These friends come and go. Girls are catty, they drama it out, they messy, they two-faced it. Keep your guard up with that shit. Don't follow behind nobody. Don't run in cliques. Because guess what? Within them cliques, they all talking about each other. They all being messy. They all being drama out. Run your own motherfucking race. And whoever want to run with you, cool. Whoever don't, even better. It ain't hurting you. But I told her, I hope you ain't mad. Sit at that lunch table by your motherfucking self. And that's what she do. People come sit with her. Cool. And if they don't, cool. You there to eat that shit and get the fuck on the class. Who gives a fuck? Preach to them kids to be fucking leaders, because the way this world going, they will follow anything. Social media, these YouTube couples, these fake ass rich lives, these kids are going to be left for dead. Teach these kids how they own motherfucking mind, to think for themselves, to do for themselves. You don't need no friends. All that shit is bullshit. If this not your mama, your daddy, or your sibling, even family could be fuck shit. Don't get caught up in that. None of that. Sorry for the cussing. That's just how I talk. She know. She know how I do. But I'm glad you came, Winter. And like I said, I mean, you want something else you gotta say?
I thought we was gonna talk about more than that.
What you wanted to talk
Y'all
about?
been talking an hour and a half.
Right.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Didn't feel like that. I thought we was gonna talk about everything.
Well, yeah, you could talk about where it's good. Y'all didn't, then you can really go back and listen to what y'all talked about tonight. Take notes and come back. That's it. It ain't going nowhere. And I do salute you, Wendy, as a mother. That is too hard of a job. Three
Thank you.
children. God damn, I can't do it.
Thank you.
I couldn't do it. I'm too career driven and too self driven. I don't please.
Yeah.
He said if you want a boyfriend to be a rich and wealthy by the age of 25, excel with the highest grades in high school, and the world is yours when you graduate. Free money.
Right.
So do you want a boyfriend, or do you want to be rich and wealthy by the time you're 25?
Rich and wealthy by the time I'm 25.
Then that's what I tell young people, like, yo, if you want to be successful, the best way is to avoid the
distractions,
time wasting bullshit while you young. Because all this stuff a nigga be trying to get in his 30s and his late 20s and then they 40, you can have that shit like Elijah say by 25.
Right.
If you
what
focus.
I could have what I want by 21.
That's what I'm saying. If you focus.
Be a nurse practitioner, but before I do that, I'm gonna say I be like an RN and stuff out for that, and I could start that. All I gotta do is complete a program after I graduate. So.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you don't want you so really until you get in a position you want to, then you get your boyfriend, and then everything is fresh and everything is new. See, and as you get older, you're gonna appreciate the stuff that's fresh and new to you that you didn't do when you were younger. But if you go out here and you do everything while you young, live it up while you young, by the time you get to your 30s and 40s, you're gonna find yourself doing more outrageous things for excitement. Why? Because you done lived all your exciting years when you younger, and when you in your 30s and in your late 30s and your early 40s, mid 40s, you still technically young.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to just ration out your excitement, but more focus on your money and wealth, because that's what you're gonna be thinking about when you trying to get the thing that you need and you want. You ain't gonna be like, man, I wish I had a boyfriend. Like, man, I wish I would have been on my shit and said, fuck all these extra boyfriend, girlfriend. 'Cause that stuff don't never end.
And I told her, I said, you ain't even experienced heartache. So you might as well not focus on that shit. Because when you experience that shit.
And then you let other people come in your life, they could change who you are.
Yeah.
So if you're not, especially while you're young, I just tell people, like, you shouldn't really be doing nothing while you're young because your mind ain't done developing.
That's why I don't like clubbing. I've been clubbing since I was 15 years old.
Yeah, now
it's boring to me.
It's boring.
It's boring. It's not fun. I mean, some people been clubbing that long and they still club, but for me, it's not fun. Like,
and then you may get to that age where you find somebody you like, but the stuff that y'all could be doing that's exciting, you already done.
Yeah.
And that person might have not been doing. So you didn't want to ration out your life. Life is short, but it is long at the same time. It's amazing. But
let's get into some comments.
Michael said, I don't know, but can it be? But it's easy to see that you're a great mother that deeply cares for her kids and raised them extremely powerful daughter that will excel in life. Even though with struggles, both of you give yourself some pats on the back. Thanks for sharing your story, and to the host for doing a great job.
I appreciate that.
All right. And yeah. A lot of people comment, but it's not too much significance.
And to anybody that feels some kind of way about my life or about my parenting, or you're entitled to your own opinion, but
but I think you got the typical, not the typical, but average black parenting. I don't think it's
average. I think I'm above average. I can't give myself average because it's a lot of black parents, if we're gonna call it that. It's a lot of black parents who don't parent.
Well, I don't know. I'll give you the typical old school black parenting.
Okay,
I would say
I can go for that.
Yeah, I don't know what these new mothers do. You might be right.
I
don't know what these mothers be doing. Yeah, I really like
running the streets.
I don't date women with children, so.
Oh Lord. I do good. I make my kids play the old school games, watch the old school movies, listen to old school music. You seen Piggy up here talking about Prince the other day. My kids, they ain't gonna be dumb to nothing.
Yeah.
To nothing.
Well, we appreciate you for tuning in, Michael, when you did, man. Thanks for getting involved in the show. Also, if you did get a chance to get a like and a share in, make sure you get a like, make sure you get a share in. Salute to Nisha Major, Michael. Two different Michael, and Utility Michael. Utility, I don't know how to say it, but Michael. Both Michaels and Michael Palm. Edo Nelson, Nisha Major, John Logic, Jay Lyric. Yeah, some more. Yeah. And everybody
Thank y'all.
And all the people that salute everybody that were tuned in on the Renters Union channel, Kelso. We see you HB2N, appreciate that. What else we got over there on the YouTube? There's a lot of people tuned in tonight, man. We just appreciate Kennedy. I saw you in the player. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And this, shout out to Aura too. Aura was in the building. And this will and yeah, Wendy, you go ahead.
I'll drop my Nikki bomb and then we out.
All right.
And shout out again to all those people who hate my guts, but is sitting in a quiet place listening to my show. You are obsessed and sick.
And we out.